it's become this big web. And within 48 hours, the police sources had told the media about how complicated this or complex this whole thing was. Faridabad, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Kashmir, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Pakistan, and then supposedly mastermind in Turkey. Explain to me this mind-boggling, complex plot. And it was just 2 years, that's all. And then Operation Sindoor, the connection with that, this woman, Sadia, who was in touch with this women's wing of the Jaish. How do you see this?
So, Smita, maybe I'm a little skeptical. I will wait until all the investigations are completed and the investigating agencies have properly pieced together the whole picture. What you are asking me right now has appeared in news media. And what happens is, it's not a Mr. Ashok Chand who's talking authoritatively and feeding the media with what is happening. It is every two-bit person who has some knowledge, who is the source of some news person, is giving you some information, and that is why it now seems very, very confounding. Yeah, इसमें Turkey कहाँ से आ गया? What was the women's cell? This, that. And a lot of times there are people who are clueless of what exactly the investigations are, because very often these investigations, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they're very tightly controlled. It's not that raita phela hua hai. So a lot of people, they want to show that they know what the hell's happening, and they, try and piece together some information, and they say that some of it might be true. I'm not prejudging.
Right.
But I don't think we can link up all these straws in the wind until and unless we have a proper picture from an authoritative source, people who have actually investigated the thing. So one is that. See, Red Fort is also a symbol. But was he actually trying to attack Red Fort, or did he naturally gravitate to that area partly because it is so congested that you can get lost in that area? Right? There's just so many people out there.
True.
Or was it because, and we know it, perhaps he can corroborate it if he is in the mood to do it. A lot of times, a lot of these characters have been found in that area, or they've had links in that area. And maybe this guy was going out there either to meet somebody or because this was a natural magnet for him. I don't know. But I can imagine what might have been happening to him, because I've studied some of this stuff, not necessarily in India, because we've not done enough studies, academic studies. But outside India, a number of people have done academic studies in studying the minds of terrorists, psychological profiling, all of that. I can imagine he is sitting in a car and imagining certain things, what he should do, what are his options. Now, whether he detonated the bomb himself, it exploded because
these
it
are
was
the
badly
these are
handled,
the
we don't know.
targets which we've heard again and again mentioning कि हम परचम फैलाएंगे रेड फोर्ट पे. Parliament significant to attack these installations.
If you have the Prime Minister of India making Independence Day speeches from the Red Fort, right, and you have the Republic Day parade going from India Gate up to Red Fort, it is a national symbol, right? Why do you think when this farmer movement took place, those Khalistani characters tried to climb the Red Fort?
Yeah.
Because that is the symbolism of Red Fort is there. That is, there is no government which sits in the Red Fort anymore.
Yeah.
Okay? That stopped about 200 years back.
Yeah.
And the last government which sat in the Red Fort, उसकी तो सरकार पालम तक नहीं चलती थी.
But you keep hearing this, right? All the dark web is all about Lal Killa पे अपना परचम लहराएंगे.
Yeah, because that's a symbol. It's
It
nothing more than that.
So when the Red Fort, when this blast happened at Red Fort, it's like reflex action. We all knew that it's got something to do with Pakistan, even though nobody knew whether it was a terror plot, and we just knew it. That this is it is connected.
It was a terror blast. Yeah,
and sure enough.
Yeah.
No, see, when the blast happened, the original, the first instinct was it could have been a CNG blast. Yeah. But when you then start seeing CNG blast, just that vehicle catches fire. And if it's in a very congested area, maybe a couple of more vehicles will catch fire. You will not have debris strewn all over the place.
Hundreds
you will not
of
have, you won't have all of that.
Yeah.
So So those telltale signs then suggested that there was some. This
Some
was not
explosive
a.
material
There was some
inside.
explosive material in the. And then, of course, within a matter of hours, the cops figured out, and this the
Ashokji, isn't
information
it
came out.
impossible to stop something like this? I mean, major metros, how do you police major metros and make them foolproof? Is it an intelligence failure that we didn't know, India didn't know that so much of explosive material, I mean, ammonium nitrate, again and again, everybody's talking. Just this year, 16,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate was found in a truck in Birbhum in West Bengal. 16,000. This was 3,000 or less than that, 2,900. So, how is it? It's literally impossible to police, isn't it?
It is difficult to police a city like Delhi. I mean, to say that we can prevent, any incident from taking place. See, basically what happens is you have to act on intelligence, whether it is human intelligence or whether it is technical intelligence or any other form of intelligence. So your intelligence network definitely has to be very strong. But saying that, in spite of the fact that we have a strong intelligence network, and internal also, because I work very closely with the agencies, central agencies. We have a very strong network, but in spite of that, what happens is, see, you bust 10 modules. Like in my time also, we kept on busting modules. It was not that, we kept on apprehending terrorists. We kept on, and those were Pakistani terrorists.
Not these homegrown.
No,
supposedly.
not these homegrown. Very rare. They were mainly Pakistani terrorists. Your Red Fort was Pakistani terrorism. Your Parliament attack was Pakistani terrorists. So, but fact is that you bust 10 modules, the 11th module slips through.
What happened in the Parliament attack? They were all Pakistanis?
They were all Pakistanis. They were from Jaish-e-Mohammed. And the 5 Pakistani terrorists that all were killed in the shootout there. One of them was supposed to be, I don't know, it was never confirmed later, but one of them was Muhammad. See, all were, code names. Muhammad, Afzal Guru told us that Muhammad was basically Sunny alias Berger, who was in the IC-814 hijacking. But that could not be proved. And they had come well prepared. They wanted to have a siege situation. Because we recovered not only what you call AKs, and then hand grenades, rifle grenades, and then explosives, but we also recovered dry fruits. So they had come for a long haul.
They didn't trust the Parliament canteen.
So in this aspect, I must put in 2 things here. One is the role of the watch and ward staff.
Yeah.
In those days, they did an excellent job. They closed all the gates. So the result was they couldn't go inside. If they would have been gone inside, they would have been total mayhem. Then we would be at the wrong foot. And second was the CRPF that was there deployed in the perimeter. They were battle hardened. They had just come from the valley. So they just took them on. In fact, when I reached, there were shots being fired. But they were battle hardened, and all 5 were shot dead. Yeah, then and there only.
You were part of the team which cracked the case of the Parliament attack, the Red Fort blast, the Jama Masjid blast, was it?
Yeah, that was
the Jama Masjid.
Indian Mujahideen.
Yeah, so these blasts which took place right in the middle of the city. Could you tell me a little bit when you heard about the Delhi blast, did it bring back those memories and say that there are similarities in what you saw out there?
See, I must tell you, Delhi being the capital has always been the target of militant and terrorist organizations. Right from that time, from the Khalistani, terrorist organizations, then the Kashmiri terrorist organizations, and subsequently the homegrown and local terrorist organizations. So, there are definitely similarities between the blast, the recent blast at Red Fort, and other terrorist incidents that has happened in the city. The main important of any terror network or a terrorist organization is to, cause maximum damage and strike at a place where it brings you international recognition. People talk about it, and the aim is to create fear. And that they have done in this Red Fort blast also. And in the other terrorist attacks that have taken place in Delhi, like the Parliament attack, the attack on the Red Fort, and
Why
numerous
Red Fort
blasts
again and
that have
again?
taken. Yeah.
I want to know, is that, do you think that this guy, Umar, he specifically chose Red Fort? Because it seems he did recce of Connaught Place. He drove around, he didn't know what, and then he goes and does it in Red Fort. Is there anything significant for terror groups, who are originating in Pakistan about Red Fort? Why Red Fort?
See, I'll tell you basically. I mean, this Dr. Umar Nabi, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. I mean, his terror module had more or less been busted.
Yeah.
By the police. So he was basically, I would say, on the run. I mean, and now the issue is whether the blast was accidental or it was actually a suicide blast. See, profile of a suicide, terrorist, is that one of the factors is that when he's on the run, then he is not able to think properly, or he's rudderless. He has no direction. If you look at him also, the Dr. Umar Nabi, I mean, after the busting of of his arrest of his associates and busting of that module and the recovery of, large quantities of ammonium nitrate and other materials, he could have fled.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't flee. He was around. And then if you look at the chart.
Do you think his trainers have indoctrinated him कि भागना नहीं है, you are not supposed to run? ऐसे कुछ है?
See, no, basically that's why, he may have been, being interacting with his, the handlers. Yeah. But decision is obviously yours.
Left, okay.
Is obviously yours. So if you look at him in the entire chart, entire course of his vehicular movement, he has visited different places.
Yeah.
And then he is, I don't know, I'm
for
talking
3 hours,
from, I'm talking
media
from
reports,
media
sure.
reports and all that. And he was for 3 hours sitting in that Suneri
Parking
Masjid parking lot.
Yeah.
And then in the evening he moves.
Huh.
So by that time, in my opinion, I may be wrong because the investigators know better. They have all the facts.
So obviously the timing is important.
Yeah. So see, Red Fort, I don't know whether you've been to,
Yes.
Chandni Chowk, Red
Yes.
Fort and all that. I had been posted there earlier also. I was 3 years ACP Kotwali there, much before I moved to the terror outfit. Red Fort is always crowded. Always crowded.
What he didn't know probably is that Monday it's closed for tourists.
No, it's a question of not of tourists. It's
The road.
It is basically the casualties that you can, by the blast that will happen. And at the point of time, the Red Fort, red light or wherever it is always packed.
Correct.
So any blast at any area around Red Fort will cause you maximum casualty. And secondly, it's Red Fort is of national importance. चांदनी चौक, रेड फोर्ट, जिसको कहते हैं दिल्ली की जो जान है, जो पुरानी दिल्ली की जो जान है.
There, you knew that. You've always known that Red Fort is something that the Pakistan terror groups want kabza over.
Yeah, definitely. I was in the cell. I was DCP special cell, and at that time there was an attack on Red Fort, 22nd December 2000.
For viewers and listeners, sorry to interrupt, sir. I'll just read out this it's an extract from a newspaper. On December 22nd, 2000, terrorists including Ashfaq had entered an area where the unit of 7 Rajputana Rifles of the Indian Army was stationed inside the Red Fort. 3 army personnel were killed in firing, after which the terrorists fled the spot by scaling the wall. The Delhi Police Special Cell Unit, which had probed the case, had arrested Ashfaq, a Pakistani national. Retired IPS officer Ashok Chand, who we have in our studio, who had supervised the probe, said, and I quote, "The Red Fort attack was an attack on the country's most important installations. Ashfaq was arrested from Ghazipur in East Delhi, where he was living with an Indian citizen. When we conducted raids at his hideout in Jamia Nagar, one of his accomplices was also shot dead in a shootout. He was posing as a Jammu resident who had a shawl business. He'd also got married in India. Mr. Chand said that the Red Fort attack was orchestrated by the Pak-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, and Ashfaq was one of the main planners of the attack, who conducted a recce, set up a sleeper cell to carry out the attack. The three militants, Abu Shad, Abu Bilal, Abu Haidar, who had also entered the monument, were killed in separate encounters with security forces. So go ahead. Tell us about this bust.
Yeah, basically, I think you stated whatever I was going to say. But the Red Fort attack, as I told you, it was orchestrated by the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and the Ashfaq Ahmad is actual name is Muhammad Arif Ashfaq Ahmad. He came came in beginning of 2000, and then set up a base here. He was a sleeper cell. He was asked by the Lashkar-e-Taiba to come and set up a base, and he had the support of local elements whom we later arrested also. Then he set up a computer center in Okhla area by the name of Knowledge Plus. And then to give a semblance of fact that he was like an Indian citizen and all, he married a local girl, and that through a matrimonial column. It was through a matrimonial column. And the money that he used to get was through Hawala transactions. Those days, Hawala used to be massive. All the money that, and in fact, he was planning to buy a flat also.
There was no Aadhaar, there was nothing.
No, he had driving license.
Driving license.
Yeah, he had driving license and he had ration card.
Oh, okay. Those days you could get.
Yeah, you could get a driving license and a ration card. He had all the requisites proclaim himself
So
an Indian citizen.
When you saw him, how did you catch him? What did you do?
See, basically what happened after the incident, these guys fled. I must tell you this. While they entered, they had recceived the Red Fort. At that point of time, light and sound used to go on. But the checking was not that strict. So what they did basically was, there were 6 of them. Out of the 2 of them were supposed to be Fidain.
Okay.
Yeah, Abu Shad and Abu Shamal, if I'm not mistaken. And they were supposed to be Fidain. So after the light and sound show was over, 2 of them, they carried the AK-47s inside the jackets. It was winter, so they had put on the jackets. 2 AK-47s, both the Fidains had carried it inside the jacket, and since there was no checking, they could, get inside. And then they attacked the army camp there, Rajputana Rifles. 3 of the, army men were killed. And then subsequently they scaled, the back wall of, if you have seen the Red Fort.
Red Fort.
Yeah, they used ropes, came down, and while fleeing, one of their, wallets fell down.
Oh.
Yeah. So after the incident took place and all that, and we searched the area, then we found that wallet, and that gave us the clue.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a telephone number in that, and subsequently after analysis and use of the technology and all that, and then we could identify this guy, Muhammad Arif of Ashfaq Ahmad.
Okay.
Then we picked him up.
He's a Pakistani national.
Yeah, Pakistani.
Where did you pick him up from?
Gazipur.
Okay. He didn't leave the country. He still stayed.
No, he was there. You see, basically the entire investigation was over within 3-4 days. I think maximum, 5-6 days.
It was so easy to get him.
See, I don't think it was easy to get him. If you put it that way now, it seems very easy.
Okay.
But me and my team, I think we didn't sleep. For 72 hours, we were working continuously. And of course, we had the support of the intelligence agencies.
Okay.
Yeah. We worked.
But you knew immediately it's an LET plot?
We knew it was an LET plot because after committing this incident, they phoned up the BBC.
Oh.
BBC Delhi or BBC JNK. I'm not sure exactly which one. And that's why we came to know it was an LET plot. But we didn't know who were the perpetrators.
Okay.
So that was a clue that gave us. And then obviously with analysis and our use of technology and all that.
So you picked him up from Gazipur?
We picked him up from Gazipur.
What was he doing? He was hiding?
Yeah, he was there in the house. It's easy now to tell it, but we kept it house under surveillance. And then when you knew that he was there.
You stormed in?
Yeah. We stormed in and picked him up. Subsequent to his interrogation, there was a...
You interrogated him?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, these cases,
He
me
was
and
the
my
boss,
team.
He would have interrogated him.
Me and my team. I mean, subsequently, after the interrogation, we came to know that there was another, one of the Fidains who was involved in the attack was in Batla House. This is, I'm talking about the name. That's a separate Batla House, this is a separate Batla House.
Okay.
This was the 2000 year.
Huh.
So then we, raided the place. There was a shootout and he was shot dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
But this guy was in custody.
This guy was in custody.
He's still in custody.
He is in custody. He's been sentenced to be hanged.
But and I think
it's still
recently
pending.
the president
Yeah,
rejected
also-
his plea.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, he said this is what it is. He's sitting in jail for the past 20 years.
I can name many others who are sitting in jail for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And the government, for one reason or another, hasn't had the
To go or the
testicular
judiciary.
fortitude to carry out the...
Spoken in true Sushant.
No, but which is a fact. There are Khalistani terrorists, people who have been involved in suicide bombings, killing of chief ministers, all kinds of heinous activity. And they are now becoming, some kind of martyrs to the cause, and the government is just soft peddling the whole thing.
Did you interrogate Afzal Guru?
Yeah. I interrogated. We arrested Afzal Guru, we arrested Shaukat, we arrested the Delhi University professor who was later on, released. So
What did he say?
Who?
Afzal Guru.
Afzal Guru was basically a Pak trained militant. If you remember in the 80s, late 80s, half of the valley had gone to Pakistan to get trained. In fact, it's a very funny anecdote. We used to say that, look, you go to Ajatpur Mandi, any third person you pick up will be a Pak trained militant. Because more or less,
Azadpur Mandi is Delhi.
हाँ आजाद जैसे ना आपको अगर ये जो होता है जो fruits and all, they all come to Ajatpur Mandi those days. So and all the fruits, apple and all that used to come by truck and all that. So if you go, those days, I'm not talking about now. So you used to say that you go there, interrogate the people who are coming from the valley to...
Have been to Pakistan, got trained and come.
Yeah, more or less all of them are got third person, every third person was a Pak trained militant. We used to call them PTM.
When he was to talk to you, Afzal Guru, was he remorseful at all? No.
No, he was not remorseful. I must tell very plainly, he was not remorseful, but he narrated the facts.
He said, "Zaruri hai karna."
He says that he was motivated. Everybody says he was motivated. He had also gone over to Pakistan. He had also done the training in Muzaffarabad. He had come back. He was from that time JKLF. He was there in JKLF. Then subsequently he did some odd jobs here and there. He came to Delhi. He was working as a commission agent and all that. And then he met a person by the name of Tariq in Tral area. And he says he motivated me to join Jaish-e-Mohammed. In fact, he says the camp of Jaish-e-Mohammed those days was in you go to Pahalgam. From Pahalgam you go to Adu or some other place. From there you walk, you go by horseback, and then you go and you walk for around 6-7 hours. Then you reach the camp in the jungle area in India. In India, where the Ghazi Baba was there. So he met Ghazi Baba a number of times, and then it was decided. See, Jaish-e-Mohammed is a very potent militant organization, I must tell you that. Lashkar, is also a very, dangerous militant organization, but Jaish-e-Mohammed is...
Brutal.
Yeah, brutal, far above it.
And they want mass killings, Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Yeah, they are very well planned. They plan very well. Like if you remember, before the parliament attacked, they had attacked the J&K assembly also. They tried to attack the J&K assembly where there was a major bomb blast and all that.
Yeah, Farooq Abdullah was there, I think, when it happened.
So they are very well organized. Here also when they came here, Muhammad Afzal came, he set up 3 hideouts, one in Christian colony, one and 2 in Mukherjee Nagar area, Indira Vihar and another area. And then slowly all of them came, the Pakistanis. They came, those days they came by train. And hold all those days people used to carry hold all.
Yeah.
I don't know whether...
Yes.
And
it's a bedding which is that for youngsters who don't know
when we
what.
travelled also we used to carry hold all. So they got all the weapons inside the hold all. And then they came here And then they raided the area. They not only raided Parliament House, they raided also this American embassy, and they raided the Delhi Delhi government ka that secretariat building also. But then they, it was decided that they will, take.
What is the mindset of people like that? Like when you interrogate them, do you find them hardened that they come to die while they kill?
You see, जो Pakistani से जो आते हैं ना, in the sense these Pakistan, they are fidains.
They are okay.
They are willing to
Die.
Otherwise you come all the way to India for what?
Huh.
They are willing to
But
die.
Afzal Guru was
not
Kashmiri.
a Pakistani. He was a Kashmiri. He was basically
Indian Kashmiri.
Yeah, he didn't want to die. You see, he never thought they'll get caught. Issue is, none of them think that they will get caught. When you are doing these terror activities, you feel that you are insulated. Nobody can catch me and all that. Who knows I am doing what I am doing. So he never thought he'll get caught. But even in the parliament attack also, he got the clues. And as usual, we always work with the central intelligence agencies, and then we are able to nab Mr. Gilani first, and then
in this.
Afsan Guru, and then after that Muhammad Afzal and this Shaukat Hussain Guru, they had fled. So we got them from the valley.
This whole, what Mr. Chandas told us about this whole intel operation is so important. Do you see the Delhi bomb blast of 10/11 as an intelligence failure or as an intelligence success?
See, it's both. It's a failure in the sense that there was a cell or a network which was being established, and it slipped through the cracks. Now, very clearly that happened. The fact that somebody could collect 3,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate and no alarm bells went off, that is also an administrative failure. Ammonium nitrate is a controlled substance. You just can't sell it. If you go tomorrow and buy it, it's not. अब यहाँ पर तो controlled drugs भी होती हैं जो बिक जाती हैं. So, but the thing is, a controlled drug will harm an individual. Selling controlled substances like this, which are potential explosives, can be used for terrorism and will kill hundreds of people or potentially hundreds of people. So shopkeepers need to be sensitized about it. And frankly, if the shopkeepers have not followed the law, then I think they really need to be taken to task.
Okay, if I am to play the devil's advocate, I'm a shopkeeper in Faridabad and I am stocking under, keeping all the security parameters in mind, I'm stocking ammonium nitrate. एक फार्मर आता है 2 किलो लेके जाता है, दूसरा फार्मर आता है अगले दिन उसी दिन 2 किलो लेके जाता है. 10 people come and take 5 kilos, 10 kilos, 8 kilos because it's needed for agriculture. It's a fertilizer.
So here is how it works, which is where the intelligence guys come in. Now, when this information is being collected, there has to be a system that it's being fed into the system. And that is where you have to start making sense. Why is there so much of offtake of this thing? It's unnatural. For the last 4 years, there was only so much fertilizer. Okay. So, then that is where analysis comes in. Which is why Mr. Chand is saying that, the intelligence agencies work very well, and I have no reason to doubt that. But from what I have also heard, they are severely staffed for resources. They need to be much more, in terms of personnel, they need more people. I don't know, sir, correct me if I'm wrong, because I had heard this. I have no other way of verifying it. There was a time when our counterintelligence department in the IB had 25 people.
For a population of...
Yeah, about IB, I cannot say. I cannot comment.
So
but
that's
short-staffed. Okay.
So he's a good old conservative,
we'll not talk about our
civil
department.
servant. Yeah, which is fair enough.
All right.
Which is fair enough.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दो?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.